Hey guys, Old Beater Cars Workshop. Well, here's the tractor I've been working on. TE20. Good old Ferguson. Anyways, I did a few mods on this one here that to replicate what we had on the farm a long, long time ago. We had, I think we had actually had three of these at one time. They had different purposes, and I remember using the crap out of them when they were kids. When we were kids. Or when I was a kid, anyway. Not kids. But when I was a kid. So, anyways, I didn't do a whole lot to the motor. Take the hood off here. It's pretty much stock. I didn't bother painting it because it looks kind of cool and gray. And yeah, so there's no point screwing with it. They're gray anyway. The front end I widened a bit. Now, being here, I live here in Western Canada, and where I live here, there's all hills, rolling hills, and basically our orchards back in those days where we had a lot of steep, and most time you'd be going along, not going up and down a hill, but on the side of a hill, and you know, because the fruit trees, that's where the fruit trees were, and at that time when I was a kid, I didn't know how to operate a D8 cat at that time yet because it was too little. But anyway, so I can. We had all our tractors. We had modified them. I was with my dad. And we had widened out the axles because there was basically on the axles. Need a pointer here. On the axles, there's adjustable holes, right? So you can adjust the wheels, adjust the axles to be either narrow or wide. And we hadn't widened them out as much as we could. I had one too. I used quite a bit, and I actually ended up busting the bolts on it, and I put 8-grade bolts on it, or 8-grade, and such, and it was just one of those things. The other modification I did is I widened out the wheels. So this is something we had on the farm here too. We had widened out the back wheels. Basically, on these tractors, you could take the center hub. That doesn't look too perfect there. Well, this damn camera is kind of weird. But anyway, the wheels on these tractors, the hubs, you could flip them around, right? And we had to do this because the tractor is kind of narrow, and right on those side hills, you'd have the wide stance so the tractor didn't flip over. So yeah, so and then we did. I think later on, my dad he had modified. He had made a bracket, and the fenders were further out, close to the fender, close to the tire. I mean. So yeah, so that's one of the things we did. Yeah, we had a lot of good times with these, and then I couldn't remember why. There was something about it that my dad didn't like with them tractors. It was always a pain in the ass. I can't remember, but it was something he always hated about them. Other than they were, well, underpowered, but nonetheless. So, but yeah, so we had quite a few of these, and then later on we went to Massey Ferguson's, the yellow industrial ones, and after that we went to Ford's. We had Ford 3000s, 36,000, 3600, 4000, 41, 46, and then after that I went to Kubota. So anyways, it's been around tractors all my life, but I want to show you something that we used to have. Use a lot of, actually. Now, here is something you probably would not see very much of. Now, this is a tow-behind mower, and the last time I remember seeing this mower is probably about. I remember seeing it about from my memory, 35. About 35 years ago was the last time I seen this mower. It's kind of fresh in my mind because that's the first time I got hit by a pruning, and you never forget about it. And we used to use this mower. There's an old company here. Was called Rottweiler's equipment, and they made mowers and picking machines and such, called them kangaroos. And but just a regular picking machine you might see in some orchards, basically like a like a scraffle machine. This boom that kind of raise this boom lift, called a boom lift. But anyways, this company had made these mowers and such. They were kind of like a death wish kind of machine, and they were built very simple and crude, and they were very effective. And we used them for mowing grass and prunings and such. And they kind of go through here the video a little bit at the camera. My hand don't shake too much. They were powered by a Dodge rear end in it. Had a, I think, some kind of big heavy duty Dodge rear end in it. The top scoops they were functional. They had top scoops in there for airflow, and they were. You could basically adjust. You could have adjusted the axles a little bit for your height. That's the only way to adjust it. So unbolted, you can move the axle up and down with bolts, right? And it was powered by this funky belt system they had on here, old school slip clutch system. And yeah, so, and we had a lot of problems with the damn thing because it had no guards and stuff like that in there, and every now and then you get a stick in there, it'd blow the belt off. So my dad got smart, and he actually got to put in a belt. Like back in them days, you could get belts that had like these big wide belts, and they had like 2V belts in there, but they're all molded in one piece. You get them 4 and 5 and stuff like that at that time. So, but yeah, it was. We ran this mower for quite a few years, and then later on we actually got flail mowers for mowing prunings. But this was a cat's ass all-around machine. Had the big blades on it, big thick, 6-inch blades on it, 6-inch wide blades, and that sucker could really kick the pruning. So one time I was walking behind it. I think I was doing something. I can't remember, I was fixing irrigation or something. And my dad was mowing prunings or whatever. And a stick came up and it hit me right in the leg. And I'll never forget it. I was sore for about, I don't know, about 2 weeks. Yeah, I was pretty goddamn sore. Actually, pretty lucky that I didn't get hit even worse. But I ran it. I ran this mower lots when I was a kid. For mowing grass and mowing prunings all over the place. We had 3 of these mowers at one time. It's not something you see, and maybe something you'll never ever see. Maybe some of you guys who are in the farming lifestyle, when you're younger or whatever, you may have seen these. They weren't too popular, but other companies did make it. I think John Deere made one, Massey made them, various companies, but it was kind of interesting. I kind of remember the way it was and painted it the best way I can remember. I always remember the hitch on was brown for some reason, brown or black, but just remembered it. Yeah, so lewd and crude, but it did the job, and I thought I'd add that. It's kind of a bit of a memory thing to me, and you know how it is. Always have to add my little spin on stuff, and the good old Massey tractor was something I used a lot when I was a kid. So this brings back a lot of memories using these old tractors. Alright guys, that's another one done. On for the shelf, and we'll see what we can find for the next project. Find something. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and remember, thanks for subscribers and all the comments, likes, and shares. Remember to comment. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and for stay tuned for more content. See ya.